Panama-based law firm Mossack Fonseca has had almost 3 terabytes of data made up of 11.5 million documents leaked. This is one of the biggest data leaks in history. This is bigger than Edward Snowden's leaks 3 years ago. This is bigger than the WikiLeaks diplomatic cable leaks of 2010. These were originally obtained by the German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung. This led to a year-long investigation by the ICIJ. It involved over 100 publications over nearly 80 countries, and this is absolutely huge. And it will be a while before we even know the full fallout and significance of these leaks. Financial records have been leaked. Passports have been leaked. Letters stretching back 40 years have been leaked. And information about the use of over 200,000 offshore entities across 200 countries. These are accounts that are not illegal, but are often used as tax havens and for money laundering, have been leaked. Many reportedly found to be shell companies established to help the firm's legal clients through 500 different banks around the world. Why is this a huge deal? Well, 140 offshore accounts at minimum have been linked to current and former politicians worldwide. This includes 12 current and former heads of state, including Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, former Prime Minister of Iraq, Ayad Alawi, Saudi Arabian monarch King Salman, named in the list, and of course, the family members and associates of so many other world leaders, British Prime Minister David Cameron, Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, South African President Jacob Zuma, the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. This is huge, Lewis, and already we're starting to see the reaction. So far, nobody admitting to any wrongdoing whatsoever. Iceland's Prime Minister saying he will not step down, and the fallout here could be huge.
It really blew up in overnight, and it is going to take a long time to parse through all of this data, so much of it, and I hope we get some juicy bits out of it, right?
And every indication that there is more coming. We haven't yet even gotten the list of Americans involved in this, and that is potentially quite the list. The most high-profile person who has been implicated here, he's not named directly, but Vladimir Putin, Russian President Vladimir Putin, has his best friend and a whole bunch of other associates named by this investigation for allegedly helping to launder more than $2 billion. Would not come as any surprise to most people, but absolutely significant that it actually appears to be sort of closing in on Vladimir Putin here. Also, say it ain't so. Argentinian soccer player Leo Messi and his father implicated. That may be an error, Lewis. I reject that, although they are both under prosecution for tax evasion currently.
So the tax evasion stuff doesn't bother you too much, right? but would this be a deal breaker? Is he no longer going to be your favorite player if this happens?
Well, listen, I mean, we have to be able to separate people's legal actions from their incredible achievements on the soccer field, on the pitch, don't you think?
Well, you can. I guess it wouldn't bother me either.
And to be very clear, the difference between a bank executive or some random rich guy and heads of state and political figures being implicated in some combination of tax avoidance and tax evasion is really, really big. The Kremlin said that the documents are nothing concrete. Pakistan has denied wrongdoing. Australia, Austria, Brazil, France, and Sweden say, well, we're starting to look into this, but we're not admitting anything. And the most important thing is to remember the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. Tax avoidance using legal mechanisms to the best of your ability to limit your tax liability, and tax evasion typically breaking laws. And we will have to see where a lot of these actions fall. But absolutely huge. Just wait for the U.S. names. The other shoe may drop here, Lewis.